All right, so impressive 32 goals for Mohamed Salah as he won the Golden Boot of this season's English Premier League and also set a record at Liverpool. In a single season, he scored more goals than any player that have come to Liverpool. The Luis Suarez and Rush were tied at 31-31, and after yesterday's goal, now he's the all-time top scorer in a single season at Liverpool and also in the English Premier League. Very, very impressive from the man, the Egyptian king, Mohamed Salah, and that's an amazing record set by Mohamed Salah, and for years to come we'll see if somebody else can also come and break that record.
Well, it'll be very difficult. For 32 is a big number in the Premier League when it comes to goals. Cristiano Ronaldo, Luis Suarez, Ian Rush, these are big names that they couldn't even do it in their first season. For Salah to come in and do it in his first season at Liverpool, even though he's been at Chelsea before, he wasn't the biggest player, but he went to Italy, got some experience and came back, and he's dominating at the moment. It's fantastic to watch him right now.
All right, we'll definitely find time and talk more about Mohamed Salah, but for the UEFA Champions League slot in the English Premier League this season, it went to Manchester City, also I nearly mentioned Chelsea. Roland would have been so happy. Now, Manchester City, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, and then Liverpool. Those are the 4 teams that are going to represent England in the UEFA Champions League. But the other 3 teams also for the UEFA Europa League, we'll talk about them, but briefly take us through the results of matches that were played this weekend.
Well, to run it up the Premier League is done. We know our champions in Manchester City, and also we know our relegated team. But the final day, we started the weekend at Turf Moor, Burnley losing at home to Bournemouth 2-1. Crystal Palace also keeping on their winning form, beating West Brom, that are relegated 2-0. Huddersfield also lost to Arsenal, Arsene Wenger's last game in the Premier League, and that was a good win for him to take away. 1-0 they won. Liverpool also claims their Champions League spot with a 4-0 win against Brighton. Manchester United also sealed their 80 points at the second place and beat Watford 1-0. Newcastle also surprised Chelsea and made sure they are not going to the Premier League and gave them 3-0 at home. Southampton also lost in the Diamonds against Manchester City for them to get a record of 100 points in the Premier League. Swansea also finished their relegation battle and went away when Stoke beats them 2-1 at home. Tottenham also a staggering performance. 5-4 was the scoreline against Leicester, and West Ham also, David Moyes finished up his season in the Premier League with a 3-1 defeat, a home win against Everton.
So the English Premier League is done. Record set. Manchester City 100 points, 20 points difference between themselves and second place Manchester United. Definitely more reactions will come. But to talk about other leagues as well briefly, the Italian Serie A yesterday, Juventus sealed another Scudetto. That's their 7th, and for Ghanaian international Kojo Asamoah, that's his 6th successive Scudetto title. Other matches were played in Italy. Briefly, Seven can take us through, then we'll move on.
Well, so the other games in Italy, we started with Benevento beating Genoa 1-0. Inter Milan lost shamefully to Sassuolo 2-1. It was over. The Crotone drew with Lazio 2-2. Verona also lost at home to Udinese 1-0. Torino also won against Spal 2-1. Bologna lost to Chievo 2-1. Atalanta and Milan, it was a draw scoreless, and it was 1 over there. Roma also drew scoreless over there with Roma and Juventus on there, and then finish up Napoli beat Sampdoria 2-0.
All right, so Kojo Asamoah winning his 6th Scudetto title, consecutive title, and also 4 Coppa Italia title in Italy there. Now we have to move on. We already know the story about what happened in the Spanish La Liga. It's about Emmanuel Boateng. It's not about Real Madrid. It's not about Barcelona. It's all about Emmanuel Boateng scoring a hat-trick against Barca yesterday. And if you just tune in, you missed the best part of the program. Definitely after when you join us, there will be more perspective to that. We'll speak to a coach who nurtured Emmanuel Boateng and also try and get some words from the player as well. But here on the local scene, from underdogs to champions, that was the story of the Eagles of Ghana at this year's Rugby Africa Bronze Cup here, which was hosted here in Ghana. That was at the Nduom Stadium. My colleague Asaribidi Akon followed that spot and has come to with this report.
The Eagles of Ghana proved their 57-0 semi-final win over Rwanda was not a fluke as they defeated Mauritius at the Nduom Stadium on Saturday. Mauritius began on a positive note, and it was no surprise they took an early lead, but the Eagles rallied back in superb fashion. They ended the first period with an 8-5 lead. Ghana continued to dominate in the second half. In the last 10 minutes of the game, Mauritius tried to mount a comeback, but their efforts proved futile. Ghana held on to secure a 23-17 victory, but captain of the team, Michael Wilson, is cautioning his teammates against complacency.
Mission is accomplished, but we still have a lot of mission ahead. This is just the beginning. We've won the African Challenge and the Bronze Cup. The next stage is the toughest one. We are ready to go.
Next up for the Eagles is the Silver Cup, which will come off in October. And President of the Ghana Rugby Football Union, Herbert Mensah, has no doubt the Eagles will make Ghana proud in Tunisia.
Well, the Silver Cup is extraordinary. We're now at a level 4 or 5 times higher than this. La Côte d'Ivoire, Algeria, now Ghana, Botswana, Zimbabwe. We're playing the creme de la creme of Africa before you go to the Gold Cup to play the Namibians and you qualify for the World Cup. So to come from 0 to winning 1D West Africa, to qualifying for the Bronze Cup, to going to Africa Sevens, to getting a ranking in the Sevens, to now winning the Bronze Cup, all within 3 years, is something that has never been done before, never. So we keep our feet on the ground. Now we know as a board, we must change the way that we look at rugby. We must change the running of the league. We must change the application of clubs. We must become tougher on coaching and nutrition, Medicare for all the clubs, so we can prepare for the Silver Cup. We really have to take it up 4 or 5 levels to be competitive in the Silver Cup. And if any of you know anything about me, I plan always for the future. So we are planning. We are planning never to disgrace Ghana.
All right, so that was Herbert Mensah, that's Ghana Rugby President, and then as I read the Akons report. Also, the Black Starlights were in action on Friday. They played the first leg of the African Youth Championship qualifier in Algiers. They played against Algeria and they drew goalless. The second leg is to come this weekend. That will be played at the Cape Coast Stadium. Yesterday, one Ghana Premier League outstanding game was played at the Barbara Stadium. It was between Bekum Chelsea and Elmina Sharks. Well, Chelsea had to play at the Barbara Stadium because of their 3 home ban. They are currently 7, and that game ended 1-1. We'll bring you reactions of all these, the Black Starlights as well as the Bekum Chelsea Elmina Sharks game when you join us at 2 on Sports Day. That's our major sports bulletin on this platform. Thanks so much, Sherwin, for joining me this morning. So we are back tomorrow with more sports. I'm Benedict Toso. Until then, get to the My Joy Online Sports page and read more sports stories for us. So enjoy the rest of the program and have a wonderful day.